Some TV shows are so great that they're perfect for repeat viewings. Others make you wonder how they ever got greenlit. Many series are so terrible they're completely unwatchable, making you question why they were made in the first place. Check Out is a raunchy office drama where the protagonist works for his ex-boyfriend but longs for a man from a vacation fling who reappears months later, causing workplace drama and tension. Aside from the explicit sex scenes, Check Out has no redeeming qualities. The plot is tedious and incoherent, the love triangle is miserable, and the workplace storylines are unrealistic. The lead characters are irredeemable scumbags indulging in adultery, dishonesty, and hypocrisy. From bad acting to a non-existent plot, it had a promising start but went nowhere fast. Check Out should never have been made, it's offensively bad. Unforgotten Night follows a heartbroken protagonist who finds solace in a brief encounter with a mafia man. The show felt more like a slow-motion crash. The mafia plots were over the top, but not in a good way, and the romance lacked any real spark. Unforgotten Night was a disappointing knockoff of Kim Posh. Even with the supposed real-life couple on screen, I couldn't feel the chemistry. One viewer humorously remarked, "What? They are dating in real life? I mean, good for them, but they just can't seem to have the chemistry." I don't know what their dynamics are in real life, but it was pretty dead in the series. In The Luminous Solution, a fantasy series set in a coffee shop that grants wishes, the protagonist faces job insecurity but is hesitant to ask his successful boyfriend for help. He turns to the enigmatic cafe owner, who offers mystical assistance with unforeseen consequences. The plot is confusing to follow due to the clumsy storytelling. Many ideas seem incoherent and convoluted. The weak acting accentuates the flaws, making the series feel inelegant. The ending is even worse. One netizen brutally asked, "Can we start a GoFundMe and use the donations to pay Gunn to stay away from acting?" In Love Syndrome 3, I followed Day and its love-hate dynamic, where Day loses his memory after an accident. Despite his rude behavior, it cares for him, while Day's jealousy suggests deeper emotions. The show was one huge disappointment. While a weak storyline could be saved by strong acting and chemistry, the acting felt cringy and forced in many places. Some scenes are confusing and disconnecting from the story. Overall, Love Syndrome 3 lacked harmony, good acting, and direction. One person added, "Day and it suck." And learning their backstory makes them worse. Save yourself the mental damage this show does and watch literally anything else. Kissable Lips, a Korean BL drama with vampires, follows a dying vampire seeking a human lover with rare blood to survive. Despite solid production values, the series falls flat. The story is convoluted, and the romance feels shallow. Despite the actors' fine performances, bad directing and writing overshadow their efforts. The pacing is off, and plot devices and characters are introduced but never utilized effectively. Overall, the editing, plot, and character development leave much to be desired, making the show almost unwatchable. Another critic pointed out why Kissable Lips is terrible. It's a BL and they completely skipped the falling in love part. A few seconds of a school project, a few seconds of basketball, now they're lovers who would die for one another. I rewound because I thought my stream must have skipped a few chapters somehow. Nope. How do you skip that? It's the main event. Physical therapy follows the slow and painful recovery of a toxic male lead who harms himself after a breakup. In a healthcare facility, he befriends a doctor who aids his recovery. As their romance develops, they endure constant drama and setbacks. Physical therapy requires extraordinary endurance to watch. It's a mess of a plot, filled with purposeless melodrama and a predatory love interest. Slow, strange, and snoozy, it feels incoherent from start to finish. The leads lack chemistry, and Milk seems terrified of being kissed, making awkward facial expressions whenever Pun gets close. This lack of intimate moments feels almost like homophobia, and relationships are only referred to indirectly, making the series feel detached. This series ends with the characters in their 30s, and Milk still acts like the creature from Alien is unhinging its jaw next to him whenever he's in danger of being kissed by Pun. There is a 5-year time jump, during which time they've been together, and living together, sleeping in the same bed, and they still have never kissed, let alone had sex, added another disappointed fan. Fallen Rock promised an exploration of the friends with benefits dynamic between university students, but it turned out to be a boring snooze fest. The series suffered from bad acting, nonsensical stories, and irritating, unlikable characters. The love story felt unconvincing, and the main character was hateful. The soundtrack was terrible, the dancing was bad, and the lip-syncing was off. Their dysfunctional relationship felt like a never-ending cycle of rage, jealousy, and disrespect, lacking any depth or meaningful development. Even watching at 2x speed couldn't alleviate the frustration of enduring the uninspired plot lines and cringeworthy scenes, including painfully awkward kissing moments. Here are more people who wanted to gouge their eyes out. OMG, I forgot the fallen ruck sex scenes. The uncoordinated jackhammering in the bathroom is coming back to plague me, joked one person. History 4. Close to You is a Taiwanese BL drama about 3 friends who live and work together. One pretends to like BL to impress a new employee, sparking unexpected romance. Another faces an obsessive stalker, creating a turbulent dynamic. This 4th installment is the worst in the messy history franchise. It romanticizes rape, celebrates toxic relationships, and indulges in offensive tropes. While the other couple's romance is ridiculous and cliché, it's somewhat more watchable. However, the other pairing is extremely problematic. The portrayal of Fu Yongjie as a psychotic love interest is particularly disturbing, as he stalks and manipulates his stepbrother into a relationship. This unhealthy obsession and abusive behavior make their storyline particularly uncomfortable to watch. Another reviewer pointed out, I could accept a step-brothers who fell in love premise, but what I can't accept is a premise about a stalker and rapist where everyone is aware of him being a stalker and rapist and it's not a big deal and there are no consequences for his actions besides a happy ending. Bite Me is a series about a gentle romance in a restaurant. A main character's culinary talent catches the eye of a famous restaurateur who offers him a job. Despite its sleek and polished production, Bite Me fails to deliver a compelling story. The slow-moving narrative lacks drama, passion, and excitement, making it the slowest BL I've ever seen. You wait for something to happen, but it never does, episode after episode. The leads have zero chemistry. The finale is particularly rough, with characters talking incredibly slowly, taking 10 minutes to get through a sentence. If I didn't know better, I would think the characters have mental challenges. Many more people were left disappointed by the lack of love, with one stating, I'm convinced they forgot to tell Mark he was in a BL until the end of episode 10. For most of the show it was obvious the only person in the entire world that he liked, loved, and wanted to be around was his mother. Even Sun follows a hapless debt collector who meets a debtor on an island. Despite a rocky start, they develop feelings during their turbulent journey. Watching Baun and Prem struggle with the awful script and clumsy editing was painful. I barely made it through episode 1 and couldn't stand the second-hand embarrassment in the rest. Aside from the island scenery, there's little to enjoy about Even Sun. This BL drama can be summarized as 4 hours of foolish nonsense. The story begins with little logic and becomes even more outlandish as it progresses. The incoherent plot, bizarre characters, and awkward romance make the series almost unwatchable. I'm glad they hung it up at 6 episodes because even with more episodes, it wouldn't have been much better. Big Dragon is a disastrous BL series about 2 enemies feuding over a sex tape. The main character films his rival to blackmail him, leading to a toxic relationship of threats and manipulation. This series is just sleazy, with toxic characters and problematic storylines. The twisted plot might have some trashy allure, but it's buried under amateurish writing and awkward romance. The lead couple is forced together in a way that makes no sense, especially given their supposed hatred for each other. It's a mess from start to finish. Besides the glaring morality issues with the sex tape, the plot is nonsensical. While the book is all about sex, the drama barely has any. It's the biggest bait and switch. I still can't believe how bad it is. A frustrated commenter stated, I'm going to slink away now and cry for the countless, undoubtedly better series that are just sitting on shelves never to see the light of day while nonsense like Big Dragon was given a green light and aired. That's My Candy centers on a nurse neglecting his boyfriend, nearly leading to a breakup. Magical candies granting 3 wishes complicate things. The story is nonsensical, characters despicable, and drama excruciatingly dull. It feels like an experimental parody of how badly a drama can be executed. The overacting adds to its ridiculousness, and many viewers dropped the show after the first episode. A fan ranted, I like that main couple in anything else, but this was so bad from the jump. Have you watched any of these dramas? Let me know down in the comments.